Living in what is known as the melting pot, we never take the time to learn about other people's cultures.
My name is Grace Garcia. I'm 21 years old. My major is public relations and I minor in management, and I am Ecuadorian and Spanish. My family, we're very, very family oriented. Um, it's a big part of our culture.
Living in America, some of us tend to forget that there are other holidays out there besides our own.
In Spain, they're very with their saints. So if you're, for example, Saint Michael, or your name is Michael, the day of that saint, they'll celebrate it. It's almost like a whole birthday all over again. It's a huge celebration that it's the day of your saint. So they'll have parties, gifts, whole thing. It's a very big thing. It's almost bigger than having a birthday.
Besides the holidays, pride is taken when speaking the language.
All of my family speaks Spanish. My parents speak Spanish. My grandparents don't know English. Neither do my aunts or uncles, and most of my cousins only speak Spanish as well. So I'm constantly speaking Spanish.
This is Michael Saka reporting for Journalism 291 here from Hanson, Connecticut. Living in America, some of us tend to forget that there are other holidays out there besides our own.
So Ecuador is in South America. It's on the west side of the continent. Um, it's very hot there all the time. It's called Ecuador because the equator is right there. So it's always hot, but with them, instead of us having summer in, you know, June and July, their summer is our winter. So their summer is in January, February, because the way that, but it's very hot, very dry, and sometimes it gets a little uncomfortable walking there. But aside from that, there's also an island, Galapagos Island, beautiful. You go there, you spend a weekend, and it's one of the most beautiful places you'll see. Um, it's a poor country, very poor country. It's sad because where like my grandfather lives, for example, I can't walk out of the house just by myself. I have to have at least my father and my grandfather and like my uncle walk me to where I want to go, because the way that they are there, it's it's very corrupt and not okay. You can't walk out with jewelry on or with your phone in your hand because they'll steal it. Um, they'll take your laptop from you if you're sitting at a coffee shop or anything. So it's sad to see, but you know, once you're there, you get used to it. Um, when you tell people that, they're kind of like, well, that's really scary. But, you know, as long as you don't really pay mind to it and you just kind of go on your own and, you know, blend in. But it's, you know, it's also nice because you go and the streets, they have, it's almost like flea market, not flea markets, but, you know, they're, you walk through the streets and there's just these huge, like these kiosk on kiosk of people selling, you know, jeans or shirts or belts, clothes, shoes, anything. You'll see a guy on the corner selling dogs, like puppies in his hands, like, you know, trying to sell you a puppy. So in a sense like that, you know, it is, when you see it, it looks very poor, but to your advantage when you go, you know, it's very cheap. So they, you know, they use dollars there. So it's very cheap, and I guess that's an advantage when you go there. But then you'll see the very, what we call, like La Raza. So it's like very strong, like very back in the day Ecuadorians, where they wear these dresses, like, you know, and they look like Indians, like from like a tribe or something. You know, they have like the big noses and very dark. They're very short. It's the typical, you know, and they'll walk around in these just big dresses, and the guys will have like a top, almost like a top hat, but not really, and like a suit almost. And it's cool to see, you know, sometimes, I guess. And yeah, that's it.
That's